Hello there, my name is Douglas, and I no longer believe that we live on a globe. Up until the year of 2019, I was what you might call asleep to conspiracy theories and real truths. I had no reason to question established narratives, at least not in my mind at that point. I did have some history of independent thinking, but I never took it any farther than certain scientific fallacies or some independent thinking in my schools or workplace. Then 2020 happened, and an alleged virus supposedly spread around the world, and the response to this was so dramatically wrong, immoral, catastrophic, debilitating to many people and industries that it could no longer simply be put down to just the standard level of corruption or incompetence that you would expect from politicians and media and industry leaders. It was so vile and evil that it had to be deliberate. It could only be deliberate. And that was before the needles were introduced. And that only proved that point even further. So I had to accept and come to terms with and grieve the fact that systems that I had previously believed in or gave time to did not, in fact, have my best interests at heart. This led me to question other aspects of reality, other truths that I would have otherwise laughed off or brushed aside or angrily refused to accept, like so many people do now. I ran out of conspiracy theories after some months through the years 2020 and 21, but two key ones in my development were the 9/11 event and the alleged moon landings. Now, the 9/11 event, I was only 7 years old when it happened, so I had no reason, or perhaps not even an ability, to question what happened. But looking into it now with fresh eyes, I could see the same lessons from the alleged virus. Governments, corporations, media will do whatever they can to further a narrative that doesn't benefit you and has ulterior motives. Similar lessons were learned from the moon landing, where the worldwide population, was all lied to. However, there was other questions that came up. One was, the key one for me, was if we've not been to the moon when they said that we did between 1969 and 72, and we haven't been in the 50 odd years since, even though multiple presidents of the United States said that we were going to go back, we've not been back. So maybe it's not just that we faked it at the time, but we literally cannot go for reasons that I didn't understand at the time. And so with great reluctance, great fear, great trepidation, I did allow myself to look into the flat earth theory. It was the last conspiracy, at least that I was aware of at the time. It was a difficult process, a painful one, because you cannot argue with logical reasoning, factual evidence presented in a calm, deliberate manner. There is no response to that, particularly if it rings true. And so the key things that changed my mind were the laser tests and camera tests showing that there is no Earth curvature, at least not the alleged one of the 8 inches per mile squared. Videos like Taboo Conspiracy and Eric Dubay were good for that. And then once I got comfortable with that, some of the other physical questions started to come into my head. If the Earth supposedly spins at how many thousand miles per hour, why don't we feel it? If the universe was created by a Big Bang, thus causing the universe to constantly expand, then how can the universe simultaneously be like clockwork, where everything is orbiting each other and has a very close relationship together? This was a very, very difficult pill to swallow, and for several weeks and months, I could recognize its truth, but I wasn't ready to accept it or to stand by it. Now, however, I feel I have no choice. There is no curvature on the Earth. There is no evidence of it spinning. The moon and the sun are in fact local to us. the moon shines cold light. That is a provable fact, much like the lack of curvature. And despite the pain and the difficulties and the loss of friends who were unwilling to see certain truths that I was able to see, it has been a freeing and liberating process. Living lives of lies is a punishment. It is a detriment to people who are able to freely think and freely live. And rejecting those lies, embracing truth, no matter how scary it might be or where it leads, is absolutely the way to go. And I hope that we can inspire that change in other generations or other people to look for truth, seek it, and spread it. Thank you.